morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Just thought I would do a little update in terms of a few things that I have been thinking about, but mainly I wanted to talk about breastfeeding and social isolation, which is a strange maybe topic to talk about, but any other breastfeeding mums who have a slightly older child, I kind of wonder if anyone else feels the same, and also want other people to realize that they're not alone if they're struggling with this too. So being in this situation we're all in now, where we are socially isolated with the people that we live with, whether it's our family, whether it's our pets, whether it's our friends, whoever it is, we're obviously all in a confined space, and I'm the type of person who's so used to being out and about. I love my home, it's my sanctuary, but I'm not a homebody. I like to be out and about. I like to be doing things every day. I like to go to the shops every day, as in I like to go and get food. I like to go to meet friends, go for walks. I just love being out and about. So being in the house all the time is, well, apart from exercise, is definitely a challenge for me, and I would say is impacting on my mental health, but I have various skills that I've learned over the years that I use to remind myself always of the positive. And whenever I feel those dips, which are inevitable and happen on a daily basis, I find something to pick myself up, and I think of something that is positive, or I read something, or I listen to an audio, or I write down some gratitudes. We do a daily gratitude with my son every morning, and that really helps. But one thing that I have really struggled with is the breastfeeding, because prior to this I had been planning to wean Ivy Rose. She's now 15 months, so she doesn't need breast milk for nutrition, although it provides nutritional value. There is no denying that. And I guess with the whole coronavirus, I felt more like, well, that's a reason to keep going, because it will help with her immune system, because she's getting my immunity from the breast milk. And also it just obviously still provides her with nutrition that is of value to her and her growing body. But what I have found hard is the space, or lack of physical space. So when you're breastfeeding, you will know it is all consuming, and the longer you go, the less all consuming it tends to become, because your baby has food, they're not dependent on you, you know that they don't need you. But psychologically, I still feel like when she cries, there's something I need to do. Or when she's with my husband, like just now, and I can hear her getting cranky or upset, I feel like that is then my responsibility to sort, or to go and calm her down, or I just feel like a physical urge that I need to go and do something. And I do feel like that is partly mothering instinct, but also partly the breastfeeding, because I know that that calms her down, it makes her feel safe and secure and all of those things. But I also need my own space and time. And to begin with, when the whole social isolation thing started, the first week, in fact last week, I found way harder, because she was definitely, because I was there all the time and we weren't out and about, she was coming to me all the time for more breastfeeding, and I found that difficult. She was definitely a lot more clingy, she was quite moany, probably because she was used to it as well, being out and about and doing things and meeting people. Yeah, so prior to this, she was probably only feeding maybe once during the day between like morning and bedtime, although I've never actively like stopped her. When she wants it, I tend to just oblige. But last week was really hard, physically, emotionally, dealing with all the changes, plus Ivy wanting to feed all the time, which I felt was making me more cranky, and I don't even know what the word is. I've heard other mothers refer to it as being overtouched, like as in your children being like physically over you all the time. And with the breastfeeding, Ivy wanting fed, it's like someone's always on you. And I found that hard, because I'm someone who needs my own space. This week has been much, much better, because myself and my husband have decided to take it turnabout. So he'll do a morning and then I'll do an afternoon. He'll do a morning, then I'll do an afternoon, then I'll do a morning and he'll do an afternoon. So we are taking it turnabout, and actually having even a couple of hours away from Ivy has just distracted her And this week has been a lot easier. Not to say it's still challenging, but I kind of just allowed myself to not put pressure on myself to wean her. I feel like she's been more relaxed in the evening, going to beds and things. I think it's because we're all around and, you know, we're all here, and there's maybe less angst in terms of like rushing to get out the house, rushing to get back, rushing to get dinner. She's not going to my mum for like the moment, which is sad because she's not getting to have that time with her, but at the same time it's necessary. So I'm just going to go through a few things I've been doing to kind of try and create that space so that I do have time to myself. And the first thing is that I am getting up at 5:30 every morning. You might think that's crazy, but I've always really been a morning person. I need that time. Like, I physically need it, I mentally need it, I love it. I love going downstairs at 5:30 by myself, knowing that I'm going to be on my own for at least an hour. I've read a book called The Miracle Morning. I've mentioned it many times. I don't always do the kind of stereotypical miracle morning, but I sit downstairs, I mindfully drink my coffee on my own, I have a little browse on whatever I want to, I might check my emails, I might do some journaling, I might write a gratitude list, I might do some stretching, and maybe I'll go for a run, but it varies. And most days I do some kind of variation of that, and I will have at least an hour and a half, an hour to myself, and that creates space so that when Ivy gets up and immediately wants fed, I've had that space. I'm not getting up from the bed, which no doubt my son has climbed into too. We're all in the bed together, and then straight into feeding Ivy. I'm creating a distance for myself to have that time. And the second thing is obviously creating a structure and a routine, which has really helped, and having a couple of hours to myself to either do some work. I'm still working a day a week in my day job, split over half days. I'm still creating content. I'm still trying to build Joe's Healthy Cupboard. I've launched my membership community. If you haven't checked that out, please, I would love for you to do so. It is growing and just very exciting, and I'm just so happy to have this opportunity to create and build and focus on helping as many people as I can to lead a healthier, happier and more sustainable lifestyle through plant-based living. That is the focus, or the thread over everything, is this desire to either eat more vegetables or have one plant-based meal a week or a plant-based day a week or a fully plant-based lifestyle. That is what drives everything, but it ties into all these other things. Number 3 is running, which ties into kind of the miracle morning and time to myself, but that gives me space again. And also just trying to create little things for Ivy to do. She's walking now, she loves her dolly, so I've just thinking of things she could do with her dolly that kind of distracts her a bit. So I've given her her old lie down part of her pram that she can put her dolly in with a blanket. That keeps her busy. She has that kind of attachment to the dolly. Just creating things like something else for her to kind of have a little bit of control over. I do think that really helps. And also number 4 is making sure she's eating. I kind of always leave my kids to decide how much they want to eat. I encourage them, but with Ivy, I've been giving her extra snacks to try and stop her desire to want to feed all the time. And then at bedtime, finally, I've been putting her to bed a little bit later, so maybe like 6:45, and I find that her having the bath time as well with her dad, which she didn't really have because he was always working in the evenings, or around bath time he was usually working before. Him doing the bath and taking control of that also creates a bit more of a kind of time. Even if Ivy still wants fed before or after, I've got that time. And that's my kind of experience so far. I don't know when I will wean her. I really would like to do it, but I've set myself the target of before she's 2 because I just don't want to put that pressure on myself at the moment, trying to homeschool, trying to build my business, replace my income, create online content, trying to figure out how to transfer my in-person workshops to online, grow my membership community, provide valuable content for people. That all takes time and energy, and I don't want to put the added pressure on myself of having to think and stress about weaning right now when the world is so chaotic. And I still enjoy it. I still enjoy and get that feeling of closeness and bonding, and the fact I know I'm still providing her with nutrition, the fact I'm still providing her with important nutrition and closeness and bonding at a time when the world is a little bit crazy. So I hope that video was helpful for anyone else who is going through either weaning or breastfeeding right now. Just remember to take time for yourself. That is the most important thing, to create and remember that you need and deserve that space for yourself, regardless of whether you've just had a baby, you're 6 months in, you're starting weaning. You are important, so fill your own cup and then you can cope with anything else that's going on. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I will see you all soon.